This is a special presentation. Welcome to the Inside Track, presented by Red Shores. Here is your host, Lee Drake.
All right, well, it is a brand new segment, and it's starting here tonight. It is called the Inside Track. It's an opportunity for us to talk to some members of the harness racing community, and it's going to be airing on Saturday nights here in Charlottetown and Sundays in Summerside. Of course, it's going to start in Summerside on the holiday Monday on May the 20th. And Vance Cameron, our track announcer, he'll be calling all the action from the booth tonight, but we have him on the desk here for our opening segment. Great to have you here on the Inside Track, Vance.
Well, I'm very pleased to be your opening act on this new addition to our program.
Well, we have several opportunities to recognize this in the off-season, and that was fantastic, but we called it the March Madness. I guess that's what Standardbird Canada called it, but of course, with Canada's Best Race Call, you were named with Canada's Best Race Call for the 2008 Gold Cup and Saucer. How does that make you feel?
You know, I'm a humble guy as it goes along, Lee, but when this all started, I never dreamt that it would ever come down to a couple of my own calls in the Gold Cup and Saucer. And when I talked to Standardbird Canada after it was all said and done, and they had told me about the voting system that come around the world that were voting on this competition. And did the head swell up? Sure it did. Why not? It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I was very proud of it, very proud of it. It was a great Sunday afternoon, too, if you want to go back to that 08 Cup and Saucer day.
It certainly was. And, although 2008 was voted as Canada's Best Race Call, it wasn't your top choice for calls. What was and why?
Well, actually, my second best call, I thought, was my 2011. Out of the four that I had in the competition was my 2011 Governor's Plate for Kenny Arsenault. Now, we as horse people on the island here, we get in depth with our horsemen and horsewomen. That maybe doesn't happen around the globe for other race announcers. If I can go back to the 08 call, and feeling that Earl Smith was going to finally conquer a Gold Cup and Saucer, a very accomplished horseman, and been watching this race all his life, participated a few times, but this was his moment, and I was getting into his moment in the latter stages of that race. Much the same as my 2011 Governor's Plate call for Kenny Arsenault. And we're wonderful friends. We've got a great relationship. And when he finally broke through in that 2011 Governor's Plate with serious damage, I was kind of riding along with him and feeling the moment as he was feeling it too.
Back in 2008, we all remember what happened on that night, the night before, of course, because the race was canceled, the whole card was canceled, and we're getting ready to go the next day, and it moved to Sunday. But could you sense there was something special about that particular race on that Sunday afternoon? I know Doug Harkness dubbed it the historic Sunday run.
Well, we didn't have the caliber of horses that were going to make that miracle mile that I continue to look for at 149-4. However, after three quarters, when you've only got 3.5 lengths separating 9 horses in the Gold Cup and Saucer, and when I said it's the greatest Gold Cup and Saucer of all time, I absolutely meant it. I mean, you don't get all 9 of them within striking distance with just over 1/8 of a mile to go.
I think that was the moment for me. I know that Earl Smith, growing up watching him, and I know his family here all that day and how much that meant. Dave Sigsworth even working the camera through the stretch that afternoon. And, of course, he couldn't take his eye off the field, but I know how excited he was. But that line, this is the greatest Gold Cup of all time, you used it right there at that particular time. You saw it shaping up.
Well, and, I tell people a lot of times, I don't come up with these things prior to it. It's got to happen. I've taken the boom call and adjusted it through the many different races. I've now thrown in that stomping tom to it and add it into it when we get a little row going on up front or the brouhaha. Like those things, this is a great sport, and this is a great racetrack, and these are great fans, and these are great horse people. And I only try to provide a pretty good race call because this game deserves it, this racetrack and this business deserves it.
Well, you do an awesome job of it. Now, Adam Walsh, our race manager, is here, and we're going to present a plaque to you on behalf of Red Shores, the management team, and the staff and the fans, Vance. And so Adam's going to present that to you now.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Walsh. I appreciate it very much.
So there it is right there. A big round of applause for Vance Cameron tonight. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to take you down memory lane with the 2008 race call of the Gold Cup and Saucer.
49th edition of the greatest Canadian horse race on a half-mile track. Gold Cup and Saucer, market paid. St. Pete Star, matched by Alma. Mighty and Strong, positive, Outlaw, Positive Charge, Country Estate, Mary Matt, Hanover, Pottle Bay Matt. In back, Banner Yankee, it's showtime! There they go. They're up and pacing, firing up the rail. Market paid to the lead. Pacing a second into the turn. On the outside is Country Estate. Banner Yankee followed right through here. Round the turn, matched by Ahmet, dropped in to be fourth. Racing fifth on the outside. Mighty and Strong. Then in sixth here in the early going. St. Pete Star. Outlaw Positive Charge is seventh. Pottle Bay Matt is eighth. And Mary Matt Hanover trailing the field. Country Estate's lead. Short-lived here. Market paid, said give and go time. Boom! Just like that, 27 and 1. Open it up here, market paid, and Jean-René Plante back on the lead. Country Estate at the rail, now second. Banner Yankee third, and he's moving out now. Match by at the rail fourth. Mighty and Strong on the outside. Now with some cover fifth. Pottle Bay Matt third over on the outside. Now sixth. St. Pete Star at the rail seventh. Mary Matt Hanover on the outside. Now eighth. Trailing the field. Outlaw Positive Charge 56 and 1. Opening half mile, turning to the back stretch, second and final time, three-quarter pole land, they're going there now, in full flight here, market paid, Banner Yankee, bridle to bridle, stride for stride, toe for toe, Pottle Bay Matt, joining them three wide third, three-quarters in 1, 25 and flat, eighth of a mile to go, this is the greatest Gold Cup and Saucer of all time. Down the lane they come. Pottle Bay Matt on the outside. Mary Matt Hanover. Up between them, Banner Yankee. Earl Smith, you've got it. Earl Smith wins the Gold Cup and Saucer. Pottle Bay Matt has shocked them here at Charlottetown. 153 and 4. Wow!
This has been a special presentation. The Inside Track was presented by Red Shores.